Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Sports Report. This is Dr. Michael Prince, and as you know, we try to bring you interesting facts about student athletes throughout the country. And we've been joined today, not only is this young lady smart, but she's athletic, and I cannot omit that she's absolutely beautiful. Miss Destiny Velez. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing well, Michael. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. First of all, for those who are not aware, we have a celebrity in the midst of us, as well as a Prairie View Panther bowler. So we'll delay the celebrity part and we'll talk about the athlete, Miss Velez. So tell us about your bowling experience and how you ended up coming to Prairie View.
Okay, well, I started bowling at the age of 5, and I'm 19, so I've been bowling for about 15 years. My mom used to bowl, and my older brother used to bowl as well. My brother's currently at the West Point Military Academy, so he's actually in the bowling team up there in upstate New York. Bowling has always been my second house. I remember going to my mom's bowling leagues, and I remember being in the baby carrier and just watching her follow through and her approach. And when I turned 5, I said to myself, okay, if my brother bowls and if my mom bowls, I need to bowl too, because everything my brother did, I wanted to do. So in a way, I was kind of in his shadow. Until this day, I still kind of am, but that's okay.
Well, that's that competition, but that's sibling rival, where you have everything going. Mm-hmm. But it's a good, wholesome competition. It actually has helped develop each one of your games, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And also our competitiveness level. But yes, I've been interested in Prairie View A&M University since 8th grade. I was actually homeschooled for about 5 years. And how I was scouted to be in the women's bowling roster here in PVAMU is I attended a bowling combine in the International Training Research Center, ITRC, in Arlington, Texas. And it was a 3-day event where bowlers from around the nation, including the state of Texas, could come and participate. So basically we had workouts, and then we bowled all day, we picked up spares all day, and then each bowling coach from around the nation came to this event to recruit young bowlers fresh from high school. Now, when Coach Glenn White, who is the bowling coach for PVAMU, recruited me, I believe I was a senior in high school in LD Bell up in Hurst, Texas. And it's funny because he saw me the first day. I don't know how I got his attention the first day of when the event started. I guess it was the hot pink shirt I was wearing, because I think that's what grabbed his attention. But what he told me is that he saw the effort and the determination that I had when it came to the first day, which we had to work out. So when that event was over in the combine, I had the opportunity and the honor to meet Coach Glenn White, and we chatted, and he spoke to me about the bowling program and how it's developed in the past 10 or 15 years or so. And immediately when I had the opportunity to speak with him, I was interested. And it's funny because other bowling coaches, they wanted to recruit me as well at their universities. But no, I was set on Prairie View A&M, and I'm so blessed to have the opportunity to be part of the women's bowling roster. And I'm happy to say that this past year we won our SWAC conference, which was a blessing as well, and we're hoping to get a national championship under our belt soon. And I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. Coach White is basically Papa Bear to me. I see him as a second dad and a father figure. He's my counselor, my teacher, my go-to person, because obviously I don't have my family here. And I'm all about embracing every moment and living in that moment. And things happen for a reason with God's timing. Now,
what was it that sold you on Prairie View? You said there were other institutions that were recruiting you. And what was it that hit it for you for Prairie View?
The way Coach White projected himself, like I said, the day that I had the opportunity to speak with him, which was when the combine was over, the way he was with his words and the way that I could relate to him attracted me to go to attend Prairie View A&M. I also I had the opportunity to speak as well with Coach Chapman from an Alabama Bowling University, and I didn't feel that connection with him. But once I spoke with Coach White, I felt this great student-athlete-coach connection of, okay, not only is he humble and genuine, but he's relatable, he's kind, and I know that he can understand me when it comes to problems, failures, successes, etc.
Now, one thing that people fail to recognize, especially about this campus at Prairie View is a family, close-knit campus. You know, you have your athletics, you have your other departments, but somehow they even come together and support each other. I can remember being on this campus when winning was not a common denominator, especially with the football team. But the Blackshear Stadium, rest its soul, as we have new construction going on, it was packed because it was a family environment. And so what I'm hearing was that legacy passed on down to you, that even though you're away from home, you never really feel homesick because you have the camaraderie of the Coach Whites, of your teammates.
And there's such a great support system here. And Prairie View, it's not a big campus and it's not a small campus either. It's right in between, and for me it's the perfect size, which that's another thing that attracted me to attend PV. And yeah, I haven't felt homesick for a while, and sometimes when I go home, I feel homesick from Prairie View. Like over the summer, I was ready to be back at Prairie View.
Welcome to the PV bug. That means that this place, and I tell people all the time, you're either going to absolutely love it or you're going to despise it.
Well, I love it.
And when you love it, it's something that's burned in your heart.
We bleed purple and gold.
You bleed purple and gold, and you're PV proud. And no matter where you go, you're not ashamed to represent Prairie View. Now, speaking of representing, you've just had the luxuries and the pleasures of not only representing Prairie, but you represented Puerto Rico. Tell us about that.
Yes, I was born and raised in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I'm so blessed to have had the opportunity to represent the island of enchantment at the Miss America pageant. It's been about a week and a half since I've returned from Atlantic City, New Jersey, and I got top 25, which wasn't too bad. I embraced every moment. I met wonderful, young, educated women. My roommate was Miss Kansas, very sweet girl as well. And yeah, I lived in the moment, and I went with a wave of things. And I had the opportunity to perform my talent, which is drums, which I've been playing the drums since I was 8.
Yeah, I heard about that. Tell us how you got with these drums.
Okay, it's a funny story. There's a show called Phil of the Future that Disney Channel aired it for a while. Not anymore, though. And the main character, Phil, which his name is Ricky Ullman, he is a drummer in real life. And I remember watching the show with my mom at 8 years old, and I told my mom, oh my gosh, Ricky is so cute and cool. If he plays drums, I need to play drums. So I remember that following week, my mom bought me a Yamaha drum set from Walmart, and 2 weeks later, I started taking drum lessons. And over the years, I've developed my skills, my practice sessions.
All this to impress Ricky, though, right?
Yes, and I actually tweeted him last month about my drum performance. Excuse me, no, I tweeted him about 2 weeks ago about my drum performance in Miss America, and he tweeted me back saying congratulations and good job on the drums. And my uncle used to play drums as well. So
you just got this drumming all in your blood.
Yes, I guess kind of, but it's a good stress reliever.
You're a drummer. You're a top-notch bowler. Your beauty goes beyond the eyes. I mean, you're just a multi-talented young lady. Then
I have to say I'm blessed.
You're blessed,
and my parents have done a wonderful job raising me. And I truly believe that with all things are possible with Christ, with Jesus Christ's help, with God's help. Everything is possible.
Now we can talk. Let's start talking now.
Yeah, and that's what I like to tell myself every day. Like, I wouldn't be achieving all of this if it wasn't for God, my faith, and my family.
Very good, very good. Because we have to remember, and it's so refreshing to hear this coming from a 19-year-old young lady. This is the kind where you want to wrap up and say, son, this is who you need to try to marry right here. You know, when we talk about God, and I don't want to get too deep off into this, but you're a young lady, you're in the times with everything. How are you viewing and responding with everybody having to be politically correct?
I don't think there's anything wrong with being politically correct. We do have the right to speak what we have in our mind, according to the First Amendment. And me personally, I always say the first thing that comes to my mind. And the truth will always set you free, like the scripture says.
Yes.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yes, it is. Well, and when I say that, it's just trust me, I'm older than 19. And when you begin to implicate references such as to Jesus Christ, some people get uneasy. You know, and they say, well, you can't bring Jesus to the job force. You can't bring Jesus into a public forum because then you're forcing, quote unquote, your religion on people. But I'm supposed to accept everybody else's opinions and viewpoints and expressions. That's why I was asking you that.
Okay, well, I truly believe that with a circle of respect equals a bully-free world, and we must respect each individual's opinions and views. When I mention God in certain interviews or with people or my classes, I don't feel like I'm forcing my views on someone. I'm just stating an honest opinion of mine. I truly believe that when the power of love overcomes the love of power, this world will know peace. And instead of people talking about each other and against each other, they need to talk to each other.
Well, that was a pageant answer, wasn't it?
I'm being honest, though. No, I'm being genuinely honest. I really am. And religion, I'm a very open-minded person. I see religion as man's attempt to reach God, and believing in God and His Son Jesus Christ is greater than the word religion. I consider myself more a believer in Christ.
Well, let me help you on that one. It's religious people that are causing problems. It's about having a relationship. That's why God sent Jesus to redeem man. It wasn't because of religion. It was because of relationship. And it was because of religion why God had to send Jesus. So He had to send Jesus to rescue man from religion. So therefore, it was about reestablishing the relationship. That was the whole thing. So we don't want people to get disturbed right from listening to this, but very, very brilliant response to that. Now, I want you to explain to me, you're a business management information system major.
It's long, I know.
It's long. How did you get there, and what do you plan to do with it?
Business Management Information Systems, MIS is short for it. It has to do with information technology, and it's very similar to computer science.
I was going to say, back in my day, that's what we called it, computer science.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why they changed the word now. But I've heard here on campus that Business MIS is the secret weapon of PVAMU. And till this day, I still don't understand that. But how I got inspired to major in technology is by Ileana Rivera. She's currently the director of the company for Cisco. And she actually graduated from the University of Puerto Rico with a degree in information technology. And I looked her up in Google, and I saw how she has made such a positive impact in women in the field of STEM, because she's also a spokesperson and a mentor for the women in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math. And she actually received an award for being the top 100 most influential Latina businesswomen in I don't know what magazine, but I saw that recently. But yeah, she inspired me, and I truly believe that if you set your mind to something, you will achieve the impossible.
Very good.
And technology, it is a growing field.
It is. It's a powerful field to grow in, and a young lady with your caliber and everything is nothing but the sky's the limit for you. Let us go back now to your competitive nature, which is what Puerto brought you here for Prairie. We know that you're academically sound, but there's a fierce competitor down within you, within all this beautiful smile and the long hair and everything. You're a ferocious bowler.
I like to think I am. I mean, I don't want to sound conceited about it. I've been bowling for 15 years. I come from a bowling family. I've had one 300 ring under my belt, which I bowled it in 2013. I can be a little too competitive sometimes, especially in board games. I remember growing up playing Monopoly with my brother, and I would get so upset when he would buy an apartment part in the game. And I think that every experience I've been through in life, it has prepared me for this moment.
Well, let me share a funny story with you. Talking about being overly competitive. I've been married for 26 years, okay. And my wife and I were dating, and we were playing a board game called Life. And it was Monopoly. I take it back. It was
See, there's
Monopoly.
just something about Monopoly.
There's something about Monopoly. So I'm beating her pretty good, right? I'm beating her pretty good, and she just walks away from the game. She quits. And you talking about, I went from 0 to 60. She talking about, it's just a game. What are you talking about? It's just a game. I said, if you quit on me in this board game, you'll quit on me in life.
Oh, wow.
Is that over competitive? That was intense.
That's a little deep, intense.
But that's one thing that I am so passionate about when it comes to athletics. Athletics simply prepare you for life. Not about going professional, but it prepares you for life. The rigorous schedules you have to keep, the time value you have to develop. You have to have a discipline because you are a student athlete. You know, you have. I don't want to say an advantage over a regular student, but you have a dedication because you're representing that regular student when you're in that bowling lane. You have that PVAMU across your chest, and you're hitting those 300s, and you're lifting up, and you're representing the Richport, which is, I learned today, Puerto Rico.
Yes.
You know, so when you're representing all these people, and people don't realize that you're a human, you're one individual, but you're taking on these mighty tasks. So when you're preparing yourself through these athletic competitions, when you go to the job market, you've been under that pressure. You can deal with those things. That's why we say Prairie View produces what?
Productive students.
That's what I'm talking. Well, people.
And people.
Okay, because you're a student, but you're a person. So that's what makes this thing, at least for me, so competitive. So people say, when you say over competitive, there's no such thing as being over competitive because it's in you and it burns within you, and you want people that are around you to have it burning within them as well. That's what makes you a leader.
True. I never looked at it that way.
Let the old eyes help the young eyes.
Yes.
We can come together. We're talking with Miss Destiny Velez,
yes, sir.
Prairie View A&M University student on the bowling team under the leadership of Coach Glenn White. Anything else you want to share with us, Miss Destiny? I'm enjoying this to the utmost. I hope you're getting this just as much for it as well.
I'm enjoying this moment. I would just like to say that with sacrifice, dedication, and effort, you can achieve the impossible. I've overcome a lot of adversity in my short 19 years of life. But like I said before, with God's help, you can achieve everything.
Everything.
Just don't give up. Do not give up.
Is there anything too hard for God? And that's an Old Testament phrase when he